I'd like to thank you, Chris, for coming in. You're with JPAR Realty.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Um, how long have you been with JPAR?
Man, the years are flying by. I think 2019 or 18. So that's the longest I've been with. So when I first started real estate, I started off with this brokerage that was easy for me to go into, let's say. Things have changed in real estate, but I think I flipped around. I think a lot of real estate agents struggle. They feel like they're quitting a job or they owe something to a brokerage. JPAR has just been really good for me to invest in myself. Frees up money for me to spend on marketing, to spend on my clients. The first few brokerages I was with, they took a large cut and I didn't see a return on investment. Like you have an office here and a desk, but I'm not getting anything. There's not a return me giving you 50% of what I'm making or what on. But
That what you were on was the 50-50 split at the
yeah,
time when you
that
first
was
started?
2017 when I first started. I think most brokerages were like that, or some of them still are.
What'd you do prior? Before?
Oh man, I've done a lot of things. I'm a jack of all trades, but there's a really interesting story to that. I went to college at Texas Tech right out of high school, and I had some car issues. I didn't come from a lot of money. My parents couldn't just keep me up there, buy me a new car, all that fun stuff that some kids have the privilege of doing. So I had to come back, work on getting a car back with intentions of possibly going back to college or what. But I ended up meeting my daughter, Kennedy. I ended up meeting her mom, and then she came along before I ever made any more big plans. So I took a job in banking, had some connections there. And
What'd you do for banking?
I worked my way up from a teller super fast into a personal banker, and I had all my Series 6, 63 life insurance license. So I was an investment banker. I had some options to go as a junior PIO, they called it, which is personal investment officer, and go straight into investment side of things. I had some options. I had worked my way up because I did it all the way until I was 28. And I'm talking about starting when I was like 21-ish, 22 maybe. So 6-7 years that I was in banking. They wanted me to go branch manager, some positions like that came in to the picture that I could have done, but I was really miserable. So that was during the recession, 07, 08, and I had hopped around a couple banks. It was a beating. I wasn't in real estate at that time. I was in banking. And kind of story of my life, man. I took a roller coaster ride of a life. And for a lot of reasons, I was really close to God when I was younger with my youth pastor, Keith. And yeah, he left the church and moved off. And I kind of just separated from going to church a lot like I used to. And I think long story short, I did 20 years really not being close to God, and I found that back in 2019 that I just crawled back to God, and that's where my business has taken off since 2019, and I give that all to God. But I did the banking.
That's so cool.
Yeah, man. And it's really a testimony that I can talk a long time about. But the banking thing, the funny thing is before all of that, before my daughter and Kennedy, I bought all my real estate books. And it was a different time. That was probably 2000. And I had a family member help me get those books, but I didn't finish. And it was different. You had to do your work, mail it in. There was no Zoom classes and no online classes like there is. Technology and internet wasn't quite there yet. So you had to fill out the paperwork and schoolwork, mail it in, and you still only had a year to complete everything. So I didn't finish everything. So waste of money, didn't complete. My daughter came along. I was like, got to get a big boy job. No going back to college. I did the banking. recession hit, and if you were here, you know what I'm talking about. For the young people, you don't know, but large banks should have went belly up, and so the government bailed them out. In this meantime, I'm like, I'm getting out of banking. I was miserable, was not what I wanted to do the rest of my life, and I went to radiology school, became an X-ray tech, finished that. That took 3 years of my life
What a journey.
to become an X-ray tech. I had one of my best friends that used to do that. He's no longer with us, but he loved his job, and it was kind of at that same time. So it was an emotional choice for me, but it's a great choice. I loved X-ray, man. I made some great friends in X-ray school. I loved helping people. That's why I was drawn to it, is that I didn't want to sell anything. I wanted to help people, and put on scrubs every day too. And
That's nice.
and there was a lot of beautiful nurses and all those good things. And there's a lot of perks of the job of being in a hospital. But all of the bank fell out. A lot of people don't know they rolled into healthcare. They had made all these too big to fail bailouts of all these big financial institutions, and it rolled into healthcare to where they were cutting Medicare and Medicaid reimbursements to hospitals, companies that build Medicare and Medicaid, which I took like an extra $2 an hour to go work for a mobile X-ray company instead of working at Baylor Hospital, is where I finished school, and could have tried to find a job at any of those places. I did all my clinical rotations and all that through, but I went for a whole whopping $2 extra an hour. And I only was there a year before it got swept out from under me. The Medicare, Medicaid, all of our clients were, because we primarily did nursing homes, and they laid off like half of our staff that was there. Thank God I was not one of the ones that were left, because it was already a really difficult job loading X-ray machines in and out of a van in 100-degree weather and going into nursing homes. And I would have much rather been back at the hospital. That's what and if I would have taken the route, but that's funny how God works. Just small decisions in your life that create a path and create who you are. Anyway, I got laid off. I could not get a job at a hospital. Most hospitals, when they would lose a full-time person for whatever reason, they would hire 2 PRN, which is like as needed type positions with no benefits, not guaranteed hours, all of that stuff. So I've waited a lot of tables in my life. Back when I was 18, worked at Razoo's. I worked at On the Border. Even when I was in banking, it got really tough at the end. I had to pick up a second
still
job.
around?
I'm pretty sure there's still one in Garland.
Is there?
And Firewheel, unless I've heard something about them shutting down. But I ate there last summer. I think the Mesquite one's still there too. But
And then one in Richardson also? Used to be one right there, Richardson
probably.
and 635.
It was my favorite. I'm from Louisiana too. Didn't mention that. So, not that that's the most real Louisiana cooking, but it is.
It's about as close as you're going to get in
throwback.
Texas
Yeah, I guess so.
if you're going out to eat.
Yeah.
And they at least have good food.
I'll take some fried gator tail and some dirty rice. Yeah, any day. But I went back after I couldn't get a job in X-ray. I went back to serving and bartending, and got a job at a really, really great restaurant that was in downtown Rockwall. And I made really good money. And that time flies by. I was really making more money than I made in X-ray and all those things. But I am
Waiting tables?
yeah.
Wow.
Right. So a little bartending at lunch and stuff like that. And waiting tables is a great job for character development, people skills.
It's a great job, especially if you're coming into real estate.
Yeah.
You learn how to deal with every kind of person.
I mean, I think everybody should go through serving. You have a much more respect for your servers. First of all, and respect for people, but your people skills, talking to everybody, talking to strangers, and making a stranger laugh, and just it is great. But time flew because I was really making good money there, and I'm like, look back, I'm like, I'm not doing this forever. I've been to top of some mountains, and I don't want to do this forever. So I'm ticking. I'm 45 now. This was just 2017. I was 37. Well, that was when I finished real estate, so it was really a little bit before that. But I was in my 30s. It's like I'm just not doing this forever. All the school work I put in, I just like, what do I want to do? I went back to real estate. Remember, I had done that when I was 20, and I met a lot of realtors in Rockwall, a lot of friends that I made through serving and bartending, and I'm like, man, I always had a passion for that. I had a calling for it, and I didn't finish it, and I completed it, and 2017, just that whole time, 2016, probably when I got my books for real estate.
So why didn't you stick with the insurance licenses?
The bank, I guess part of my banking, it was more of an investment. I had to get the life insurance license.
Yeah,
It wasn't like,
required before you get your 6 and 7.
yeah, I just had Series 663. Those were just basically in the banking side. If I would have went full investment, I would have had to get a Series 7 to do, that's like individual stocks. I didn't go that far.
you, you and I have a lot of similarities, my friend.
Yeah.
I just sold my big insurance company.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait to get out of that company. Never hated a business as bad as that in my life. There's nothing ever good. Nobody ever pats you on the back and thanks you for your insurance.
No.
They're moving out in 6 months to a year anyhow when they renew, and it's just like it's hard. And the like I said, it's the most thankless job I think I ever had, and it's just everybody's just crying all the time. Had a wreck, you don't get any good calls. It's all bad. So
No, it's all bad.
House burned down.
It's insurance.
Got robbed last night, and it's just like I hate all this bad stuff. And I let my sons take it, and they ultimately ended up closing her down.
Yeah.
But and then a guy came from Singapore because I had over 800 carriers. We mostly were commercial, and we had a life team, but most of our stuff was commercial. And he wanted the book of business and all the carriers.
Yeah.
I worked hard to build that. But my whole family, my dad, insurance and real estate, my brother's insurance, my wife's family's all real estate, and I did the insurance thing. Thought I'd help the boys coming out of high school and get them a gig running and just hand it off to them. And the handoff didn't go to good as some.
What insurance is a necessary evil. We're in a time right now where it's a little insane. It's really affecting these mortgage payments.
It's affecting mortgage payments. How? I mean, car payments is affecting everything. You got to see the commercial side. It's gone up 300%.
Yeah.
In the last 10 years.
And I don't know what to do. Somebody told me today that one of these big insurance companies, it's like the CEO of that company. I won't mention any names just to be safe, but he just bought some humongous, like multi 200 million, something like that dollar ranch. He's the owner of an insurance, CEO of it. I'm like, well, I guess he's doing all right. So that just lets you know something's wrong.
A lot of money in the insurance business. I mean, once you build a book of business, my brother has been with Hotchkiss Insurance for probably 35 years, and he hadn't been to work in 15 years and still makes probably $1 million a year. He built a book of business around construction and owns pretty much most of the builders.
Residuals.
That's all he does. He don't write new business. He built his book, and those people, the day he retires, they'll all leave the company he's at. They're friends. He's been with them 35 years, most of them.
Wow.
But just built it through the years, built the name. He was the best and became the best. I mean, he is one of the larger big books of business in their company. But he hadn't been to the office in 15 years.
Yeah.
Makes a few phone calls from home, swims in his pool all day.
Well, maybe I should have stuck with my insurance then.
Hey, it makes you wonder some days, you know?
No. I think God
Are
put
you
me...
doing any investment stuff in the real estate side?
Not yet. I would say I've been in a rebuild era of my life. I was kind of
You
getting
got
to
one
that
in
point.
college that you're still paying for. So.
Well, a little bit. She does really good. She works on her own, pays a lot of her own stuff. I don't help her much at all. She's self-made. I may send her some Wingstop money. Obviously, that just happened, but
I probably would.
you know, tried to help with her car. I just help her out. I've been there, you know, if she needs some money, but she's earned her way, and I think she's really proud that she has.
You know, I think
She bartends at Chili's.
I think if you raise them that way, we raised ours that way. We pushed our kids always into more. We want you to fail. The more failures you have in life, the better off you're going to be when you get a little older.
Yeah. You got to overcome obstacles because life's not easy. If it was easy, woo. Yeah. Like I said, my valleys were deep, and I'm 45, and I feel like I'm still in a rebuild. You know, I'm like reaching something, but I've been, when I started in 2017, the first 2 years was really hard starting a business, and I was probably as broke as I had ever been, but that's when but I had a lot of personal stuff going on in my life, and I did not have God in it. You know, he wasn't the center of it. He wasn't first and foremost. And when I decided to make that change, and I really ran after that, it's not just luck. There's too many stories like this to tell you God is when you draw near to him, he'll draw near to you, and and you win. If you're
It's weird how that works.
Yeah. If you are doing everything and it aligns with him, and you're a good steward of your money, and you are good to other people, you give back to other people, and you do all those things, God's going to keep rewarding you. And I've been at more peace in my life over the last few years. I've had some have I been pitfall free? No. Have I?
You never will be.
I just tell people my valleys aren't as deep as they used to be. So I sleep better. My life is blessed. I'm going through some big things right now, but you know, it's okay. You know, it's all okay with him. And every year since 2019 has been a step up every year. And that's all God, man.
That's incredible. But you were raised with God? I mean, in your family, or was
I wouldn't
it chosen?
say I found my
chose
youth pastor, man. I was just a little blonde kid running around the neighborhood, and you know, they used to have church vans and youth pastors that would. My youth pastor, anyways, Keith, he found me in an apartment complex. He was like in a church van or something. I don't really remember all of it, but I was sixth grade, about to go into seventh, you know, and he's like, "Need to come to church. We got a van to come by." I don't know. And he has been one of the largest blessings in my life. He's always been there for me. He's still there for me.
So it was a kick in the butt when he moved.
It really was.
It's
A lot
funny
of
you
church
say
hurt.
that. You know, that's how I got out of church.
Yeah, church hurt.
Real church. My father's best friend, ever since I was that high, grew up with their kids, was head of we were Presbyterian, and he was head of our church, and then he took the big church over for the Presbyterian in Tennessee and transferred him. He went to Arlington for about a year or two, and then they put him as their head hula for that church. And when he left, man, we never looked back in the church again.
Yeah.
It killed my father.
Yeah.
I mean, they played golf together. He actually drank beer. He was a pretty cool pastor. And we did 2 weeks to a month every year in Orange Beach, Alabama.
Yeah.
And just heartbreaking when he left. But I'm not, you know, I was enough that I understood some stuff about the Bible, and then I married a preacher's kid, and now it's always in me.
Yeah.
So, because she didn't let me go far without it.
No.
And
And
when I head down that path, she'll grab hold of me.
Yeah. I would say this, you know, looking back at it, you got to reflect. A lot of that was my choice. You do get some church hurt, and it makes you kind of go whatever direction you're going in. But
Yeah, but it's hard to find that one person that actually
yeah,
put his arms around you
there's
and
a
said,
lot.
"Come with me," and then all of a sudden he's not there. It's kind of like when we get out of the military. You get out of the military, since the time you get in, you're taught to how to fold your socks, how to put your shoes on, how to shine your shoes, how to press your pants with your hands, and I mean, you're told what to do from the day you get in there until the day you leave. 90% of them that come out can't function.
Yeah.
And that's why the depressions come. That's why the drugs come. That's why the booze comes, because they don't have a purpose anymore. They don't have a reason to get up anymore. They don't know what to do when they get up because somebody's been telling them for the last 10 years. Yeah. And you see so many of those guys fail because of that.
It's a transition.
It is. I even had a little bit of hard time transitioning out, but you know, I knew my plans before I ever left. I'd already made. I knew I'd do my four and gone.
Yeah. Well, we're all built different. Every human being is built different, and there's a lot of those people that have dealt with that I've dealt with. Like I have a men's group on Thursday that's out of my church, and at 6:30, and it's been the biggest blessing. I've been in that now for about a year and a half, and we do it every Thursday. And without that group of men, I don't like church is like a celebration to me. The community and the groups, and that's what I was saying is even with, you know, church, whatever. I was just young and dumb, and I think the problem with most of us is that we're in a Bible Belt. Like there's plenty of churches. I didn't go look for one. I was hurt.
Found you.
I was hurt. Well, I started looking in 2019. I started looking for one, and I went to a few, and you know, you always get something out of church. But what I tell people now, I'm like, come to church with me, but my church may not be the one for you. Find your church, because what I like and what you like are two different things. Some people want to go to a cowboy church. My church may scare you out of the room. We're loud.
Y'all are holy rollers.
Yeah, man. You better bring your earplugs.
They roll around on the
no, we ain't rolling
and
around
fry like bacon.
Hey, man.
Hey,
If that's
I married a Pentecostal preacher's kid. I got invited to my first Pentecostal church.
yeah.
Keep in mind, Presbyterian's pretty laid back compared to a lot of churches.
I grew up in a Baptist church.
I walked in and watched a 90-year-old lady start talking in tongue, throws herself on the ground, and just goes like this and swear to this, gets up and sprints around the church, and she could barely walk when she got in there. And I'm like, oh my God, my wife, girlfriend at the time, quit, Wes. I'm like, I've never seen this. It's a show. This is wild.
And it's something we don't understand.
I will never understand talking in tongue. I don't understand. Why can't we just talk with what we got?
Yeah. Well, it's a spiritual gift, and not a.
I guess. Maybe
you
it's
have
not
to dive
a gift
into
I'm not going to get.
Well, they say there's a lot. You got to just read the Bible over and over and over, and you're going to discover new things. The closer you are to God. I'm not there. I'm not speaking in tongues either. But if somebody
If somebody does, I understand it now. I'd never heard it, seen it, didn't even know what a Pentecostal was until I married her.
Yeah.
But it was good for me.
The only thing I do know about it, I can tell you a little bit about it because I've heard about it. They're not doing it in my church, but if somebody speaks in tongues, the person they're talking to has to understand them, or there has to be somebody there to translate it. So, anyways, there you go. There's your little tidbit from the Bible.
That's a new one.
It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. So that's what I'm saying, to understand that, or
So sometimes when you hear,
Not to say that there's some actors out there. There's some preachers that are actors. There's some bad churches out there, and that's where people are like, this and that about
it's
church.
really not about the preachers though. It's about
We're
community.
all sinners.
Yeah, every day.
So,
But it's really about community.
yeah.
You know, when you don't have friends or family or not know a lot of people, it's a good place to go and find friends that can be family and can be a part of your life and be interested in the things you do too. So it has some goods. My first men's group I ever did was 2 years ago in Friendswood, Texas. We started church. They were a startup church, and it was pastor came after I met him, and when we pull up in a Mercedes, okay, and I see this guy sprinting toward our car, and I went, "Oh my God, they're running toward us." It's probably because we got a daggum Mercedes. He hooks on to us and takes us in and introduced us literally to everybody in the church. And I'm like, I like this. After church, Pastor Scott walked over and he said, "Why don't you join this men's group?" I don't know about that, man. I'm not really much into men's groups. He said, "I think you'll like this one." Yeah, I said, you think? He said, "Yeah, show up Wednesday." All right. So I go to this guy's house, and behind his house is a 4,000 square foot building, 20-foot ceilings, barn. And when I walk through the door, if there's less than 2,000 heads hanging on those walls, fish, monkeys, zebras, I had just walked into a world of, oh, I'm a big hunter. So it fit me.
Yeah.
And the people there, they fished, they hunted, they had concrete companies. I've been in construction, I've been in real estate. And it was like I was with a great group of people. It was one of the best groups of people I've ever been with. And of course, we moved back up here, and I'm not affiliated with them now. But I haven't found a church here, or we have not found a church here. My wife loves the music. I like the music, and I like a little substance. I'm not real big on just look at my iPad and read you everything. I want somebody to preach to me. I don't want somebody to pull a template out that 12 other churches are doing the same thing with.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know, I just like more of someone that sat down and studied the Bible and brought a new sermon every time. It's just, and I got stuff out of that church that helped me grow. And I got a lot of great friends still down there that I fish with. But that's the first time I ever thought I didn't want to be there. And when I got there, I'm like, thank you, God. It was cool.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking you last night when we were talking about it. If it was an open invite, or because
you can definitely come to anything I do, but
I'm looking.
Yeah, I've got a Thursday group, and I also have that Rockwall lunch thing.
Well, I think the lunch thing at Soulman's might be the best for me on Mondays.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I talked about it with Dayla last night. And
Monday or Friday. Friday at Culpeppers, Monday at Soulman's in Greenville, and Friday and Rockwall. You're welcome to come to both. They're business.
Fridays are my Sundays.
Okay. No, you're off.
Thursday and Friday, so Fridays are my Sundays, and I'll try.
Playing golf.
If I can. If not, I'm out by the lake and just chilling out.
Okay.
So you have to come see the new house. We took a 30-year-old house and remodeled it on Hubbard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we moved in a week ago. I mean, week of Christmas Day.
Well, that's great, man. Cook out.
Yeah.
Find me a girl to bring over on a date.
I'm already.
Until I got a friend with a lake house, man.
Hey, we'll see when I get that boat. That house cost a lot of money. My kids are like, "Hey, Dad." My son goes, "Hey, Dad, you figured out what kind of boat you're getting?" I said, "I've been looking at a couple." So I sent him a pontoon with 400s on the back of it. that runs 118 miles an hour. Pontoon boat.
Really?
So it's just a joke. And he says, Dad, I think we need to get a ski boat. He says, I'll pay for half of it if you'll get a ski boat. I go,
So you know how much
I
new
can't,
ski boats are?
I go, I can't ski. Yeah, he does. So I get online, I pull up a ski boat, ski nautique, $244,000, and I sent to him, I found the boat I want. Just playing. He goes, oh, that's sweet, let's do it. I said, oh my God, this one has just backfired on me. So, we're not sure how fast we'll get the boat just because we just bought the house.
The house is on the lake?
Mm-hmm.
So, they just now started allowing the last few years that you can build a dock out on Ray Hubbard. Do y'all have a pier?
We have a pier and a boathouse and a place for 2 jet skis.
I'll get a jet ski. Y'all can get the $240,000.
We will never have a $240,000 boat, Chris, as long as I live.
My buddy
if I do that, I'm moving on it.
One of my best friends just called me. I think it was this past weekend. He's like, "Hey, the boat show's this weekend. I think it was this past weekend."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I'd known.
But he's like, we like going, but I don't drink anymore. So I'm like, what? I was like, what am I going for? Like, you want to go to the boat show? Like, why?
I'm not buying a boat.
I ain't buying a boat.
You have a jet ski though?
No, but I can afford one of them.
Man, a used.
I just could never bring myself to spend. I've been to the boat show just the year before that, and it had been a long time since I've been to the boat show. And when I went to it, I was just amazed at how much these boats are now. Used to, you get a really nice boat for $50,000. Yeah. That was a lot, yeah. But that
was a really nice boat.
That was a really nice boat, but $250 now is just nothing. This is nothing.
It's like a house loan for a boat that you're going to use 20 times a year,
yeah.
if that.
Yeah, and they constantly. I know people with new boats. They still have issues all the time. You got to spend money on them. I'm just like,
when we moved,
I ain't never found anybody with a boat that's like so happy that they have that boat after a few years.
I have friends that do, okay, but they make a living off their boats. But I bought my first boat from my father, and he had what was that boat called?
Oh, the name of it or the kind of it?
It was a center console, and I can't remember the name of it, but Pathfinder. And I take it to the coast. It was nasty. It was white, but it was that color.
Yeah.
Because my dad never washed it. So I'm down in
It was light colored.
It was 100% light colored.
What color white is that? Lake Tawakoni.
That would be Lake Fork where he was. And I'm sitting there. We get down to Macport Marina in Rockport, and we're headed out fishing. And it's going across the water like this. The freaking dirt divers, and I just sent it in, had this boat guy go through the boat, check all the electric, check everything on this boat, make sure it's in good shape. Picked it up, went straight to the coast. We blew the engine.
Did.
Yeah. I only paid $12,000 for the boat.
Yeah.
So I ended up, the electric, or the guy that did the work on the boat, his insurance paid for a new engine. So I got a new engine out of it. I left it at Macport, and the guy goes, "Hey man, you want me to clean this boat for you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, man." It was nasty. It had fish blood all over it and everything like that. So I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be great, man." So about a week later, me and my fishing buddy were back down there, and before I called, I'm like, "Hey, need a case of Miller Lite. Throw me a case of water in all the coolers, get me iced up, and we'll be there in 2 hours." He's like, "Yes, sir. We'll see y'all when you get here." We flew down there and get in the boat and take off, or get to the boat. I'm like, "Bro, where's my boat?" He goes, "That's your boat. That ain't my boat." And I was serious. "That is not my boat. My boat's that color." He said, "We acid washed it for you, buddy." He said, that was the nastiest boat I think we've been in. And then,
Didn't even recognize it.
I kept that boat 7 years and sold it for 20 grand. I only paid 12 for it. Hell of a boat.
You will
deal.
be the first story, and I'll remember that story forever because I
Wait
don't
to
know
hear
anybody
this one.
that made money on their boat.
When I went and when we moved to Galveston 7 years ago, I bought another one. I bought a 26-foot bay boat, thinking I'm gonna be a bay fisherman. I'm gonna go catch trout and redfish. All I want to do. And the idiots at the Surfside Marina. Hey Bishop, you want to go fish with us today? Yeah, I'll go ride with y'all. 36-foot yellowfins, 42 yellowfins, charter fishermen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and for some reason I was invited all the time. I guess because I paid for gas. I didn't mind paying for gas if I was going on a free trip like
Heck
that.
yeah.
They gave me computer chips of all their fishing spots. Man, hooked me up.
Yeah.
And I'd go fish with them all the time. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I can take my bay boat out there. So I'm running 35 to 40 miles out in the bay boat. And then one of the kids at the marina, which his dad's a big charter fisherman too, he's like, hey, let's fish that Sergeant tournament. I'm like, all right, let's go. Me and my brother came in that weekend, so the three of us took off, went fishing. We went 80 miles out. Keep in mind, I got an 80-gallon tank on this boat, and we only get 1.9 miles a gallon,
Yeah.
and I'm 80 miles out. And we look back in, we're fishing off of a rig out there called Tequila Sunrise, and I look back toward land, and here comes the most massive storm ever. There's 6 water spouts within a half a mile of us. And I'm like, boys, we got to go. Called my buddies on my satellite phone, and they were at the 40-mile mark. I said, I'm going to be in there in a few minutes. I'm going to haul ass toward y'all. And then like, come on. So when I got there, it was already getting choppy. And he's like, dude, you need to go south. We're going straight to land in the big boats, but you're going to have to go around it. That whole storm turned and went south with us. 3.5 hours of 12-foot to 20-foot swells in that bay boat.
Yeah.
At times we were sitting there falling off of a side of a cliff of water, and the engine would catch it just in time to shoot us right back out before we flipped. And then
That's when you sold your house in Galveston.
Nah, I sold my house in Galveston when I was 35 miles out and had the heart attack. I decided I was done.
Wow.
I decided maybe God's telling me this isn't where I'm supposed to be. I just fought one of the biggest storms. My brother got knocked out cold, and the bars of the top hit him. They're in the rough, and here I am with somebody's kid on my boat that's 19, 20 years old at the time, and I'm just tripping. But as soon as we drove out of it, finally, keep in mind, 4 massive boats, like big boats,
Yeah.
sunk. About 12 people died that day. We're
Man.
sitting there, and I'm listening to radio. It's like, hey, there's a boat. If any of you guys near this coordination, if you're there, please check on to see if you can see this boat in this area. And radio in, and we looked for it while we're there. We're already in the midst of this storm, so why not check? Looks like somebody's life along the way with mine. Might as well. But as soon as I got out of that storm, it was pretty blue skies, flat.
You didn't run out of gas.
We pulled into Sargent, Texas with our load of fish. We placed like 6th. And
Did you tell them you lost some fish in the storm?
no,
You would have won first.
no. Dude, I was just glad we made it back. It was when we got through that storm, my body collapsed 100%. I couldn't even walk. I couldn't move. I just hit the ground.
I bet.
The adrenaline finally was over. And that's the only thing that kept us alive. It was one of the toughest trips. Matter of fact, somebody just sent me something earlier today about a boat out that went under. And my wife texted me. She's just like, this could have been you and your brother and that kid.
And you were in the military?
Mm-hmm.
Which branch?
Navy.
Navy. Okay.
Water's not a fear.
Yeah.
To me. I just don't worry about it. But,
See, that would trip me out. I wasn't in the Navy, but 80 miles out, you can't see any land. I don't care about any of that, man. I was an 80s kid, so Jaws kind of ruined me. I just don't even like the ocean very much. I don't even like getting up to my knees in the ocean.
Really?
I like going.
To the
It's
beach?
beautiful. I like going to the beach. I'll sit in the sand.
you know, your chance of dying on 30 a whole lot more than everybody.
Drinking the Mai Tais and all that stuff. Oh, that's really in the vibe. I like the party vibe and the beach vibe and the clothes, man. But and the music. Don't get me in the water, man. When I was a kid, I was scared to get in the pool. Jaws had me so jacked up.
Really? We had some kids on the boat with us one day, and me and my two kids, and one of the kids is a black kid, and the other's a Hispanic kid, and here goes three white people jumping off, and we're 35 miles out. It's hot as heck out there.
Yeah.
And the water's like crystal blue. Once you get out past a mile of Galveston, it's the bluest, prettiest water you'll ever see.
Huh.
And you can see 100 feet. And we just jumped in. They're like, "Are y'all idiots? Y'all are crazy."
Yeah.
And they're so funny. They're like, "You white honkies," you know. They're just the cool black dudes in life. But it was what a funnest trip, and you know that all of those kids still hang with us. If you come to the house this summer, they'll be at my house nearly all summer. But they've become family, and we've kind of adopted them all. But back to you in real estate. You think this is what you'll do the rest of your life?
Hope so.
Yeah.
Unless God has a different plan. I'm always keeping
tired of
God
changing?
centered, you know.
Through
Well,
the
I think
years?
like I said, I think I made it back full circle to where I was supposed to be when I was 20 and bought all the books. And, you know,
You're well rounded out now, Chris.
so here's the thing, you know, a lot of us try to do what we want to do instead of what God wants us to do. And when you're trying to do what you want to do, it
doesn't work.
not going to work. And that goes with every decision you make in life. Instead of pray about it and accept what he does, because sometimes they're not what you want. We try to force the things we want, and they're not right for us. So, you know, I'm blessed to still be here. After a lot of crazy things I've done in my life, you know, I really am blessed to be here. Obviously, there's something more I need to do. And you know what, back to just real estate in general, everything I do, like I said, banking turned into sales. That's what banking kind of is. They're selling you products. Sell, meet these numbers, meet this quota. I don't have a quota. But I went into healthcare because I wanted to help people. And then I was serving, bartending, helping people, service. I think these are things God put me through. And in real estate, I don't sell anybody anything. They come to me because they are doing something and they need me to help them do it. And so my job is not sales. Of course, there's something being sold, but I love what I do because the home is the most important thing. You know, it's our 100%. Biggest purchase. It's the most important thing. It's where you sleep at night. It's where your family's safe. It is everything. A home is where the heart is. You know, your home. It's
where every dream's made.
Yeah,
it's where
your family, your heart.
You go through a lot of ups and downs.
It is the most important thing, and I get to be a part of that. I
agree with that.
So many people that, you know, not every transaction brings me to tears, but I've had them fall, you know, seeing a young couple, you know, purchase their first home and just the joy of owning their home is just, it's overwhelming sometimes. And you know, as a real estate agent also, a lot of people think we just open doors, show them houses and stuff like that. And
It's a lot more than
man,
people
I
think.
become part of the family really quick. And
At JPAR?
no, with
Oh,
my
with them.
clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm along this journey with them, a major journey. So,
Well,
and
quite
they drag
obvious, you
out.
put your nephew in here.
They drag out 30, 45 days. Yes, I put a family member in here. I got two people that I put in this community because, I know all the different communities. I know where to guide people to make good decisions. And I just really felt like this is a great community. It's cozy. I think you said 3 phases in here, but yeah, I got a family member in here.
There's
But
450 lots going in here.
yeah, 450.
It's a big.
Well, I don't want one that that's going to be 20 phases. Is what I'm saying.
You don't want to be in a 20-year program ever.
No.
Because you're competing with a builder.
Yeah.
And that's probably the hardest thing for realtors right now is you've got used inventory out there that's not selling because people can't afford the interest rates. And you got builders throwing up these lower rates, which help y'all sell also.
Helps it affordable.
What do you think? Garrett and those guys would have had a hard time getting in that house without that interest rate.
Yeah.
And probably Mason too.
100%. Everybody that I start with, typically, it's off of a home they found on one of the sources, Realtor.com, Zillow, whatever they use. They come to me, hey, I'd like to see this house. Okay. I have almost shown everybody, 2 or 3 houses at least. And then, in the markets, it depends on the market. Right now in this market, I'm like, well, I've seen 3 you liked. Let me go show you some new construction where you can get a special rate. There's money, to be had here, where people that are selling their house that are pre-owned, they don't have maybe as much equity in there to give away. They can only go so far to help the buyer. And they don't have to go anywhere, either. Some of them just like, hey, I want this for my house and this is it. So, big thing with interest rates at 6%, on a normal home, let's say, that you could come in here and get 3.99 or something that makes a huge difference. People waiting on regular rates to drop. I don't think it's going to drop that much, but you're better to buy now and refinance later. But
before we start jacking these prices back up.
Yep.
Because they're going to start moving as soon as this highway's finished.
Yeah, if you're sitting on the fence about buying, you should buy now, refinance later. Because if you wait till everybody tries to start buying and gets on the same boat, if you get on the boat with everybody else, you're going to have more competition and everybody's going to stop giving to buyers. So you are going to make more money getting a chunk of change from a seller, new construction or seller of their existing home. You're going to get more money doing it now, and then the rate's not forever. You can change that later. But new construction is offering a lot right now.
Do you sell more new construction than you do used?
I feel like now I do. Right now I do.
I think most of you realtors would say the same thing right now.
With my listings that I have for, clients that have existing homes, you got to make it stand out.
You got to show their houses.
Yeah, I got to use stagers. I've got to put more into an existing home. If you have a real estate agent that's not helping you get your home staged properly and just putting a sign in the yard and putting it on MLS, you're going to sit there all year unless you have something really special. Because buyers have choices right now. There's a lot of new construction out. There's a lot of choices. Buyers have choices. So yours has to be the best. And if you're not striving to make your house the best when you put it on the market, you're not going to get top dollar. You're not going to compete with new construction. You just have a house, just another run-of-the-mill house. So make it stand out. I'm good at helping people do that. But with my buyers, I think right now, because again, buyers need to get off the fence. Because right now, these new constructions, everyone out there is offering something.
And we're getting ready to ramp up sales. Yeah. And more construction.
More construction. But you got to get stuff off. Y'all don't like to keep stuff on the books either. If that stuff's sitting there and it's done, completed, it's got to go.
We're gonna move it pretty quickly.
You're gonna move it.
You're paying interim interest on those things, so
Yeah.
you don't want to sit on too long because you start just eating in your profits.
Yeah. So a lot of people also, I'll say this. This is a question I want to ask you because I
Sure.
just left another builder. I had a new construction CE class today that a guy taught. Inspection phases throughout the house, pre-sheetrock and foundation poured, 3 different phases of inspections. I did a class on that today. But we were talking to that builder salesperson there. I was like, how many people do you think, like, just guess, like, what would be how many people walk in without a real estate agent to new construction?
Honestly,
50%?
oh no, more like 20.
You only think 1 out of 4 walk in without an agent?
Yeah,
Huh.
that's 25.
That's still-
one out of 5.
Yeah, 1 out of 5. But I'm going to bet 1 out of 4. Because she said over there she felt like it was about 50% of them.
No. Well, it depends on who you are and who you work for.
Yeah.
We spend our entire life just calling y'all.
Yeah.
We-
Y'all do.
We get a lot of leads,
That's true.
but we would rather work with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a soft sell already when it's coming through the door because we know you in most cases, and it's a better deal for us having a partner in between.
And we are not just cushioning this like they're already ready, but here's my thing on new construction and having a real estate agent. It's a process. Again, I'm not here to open doors for you. But y'all do have sales offices and people do drive by. You got flags everywhere. So there are the people that walk in without an
We
agent.
do get some, but you know what 90% of them say? I've got an agent, here's his name.
Yeah.
And they do drive by and we do see those singles, but
Every now and then.
we ask,
Yeah.
and if we don't, there's no change.
Well, to the other person that has 50% of her people walking in there without agents, they feel like they're going to get a better deal without an agent.
Well, everybody seems to think that in the industry. I hear it every day.
Yeah, and they're not. But my thing is with them is like, this is a process. I've done this, 100 times. Mm-hmm. Let's do this together. It's not going to change anything. I'm going to help protect you. I'm going to be that buffer that's been through this. I feel like y'all have a relationship. Like, oh, well, this is Chris. He knows what's going on. He's going to do an inspection on the house. He, make sure that they get everything fixed that they should. Make sure that they take all the proper steps, and know, I've worked with y'all multiple times. Like, I know the process, so I would just say
and it would amaze you how many people walk in here that have no idea of any kind of process as a realtor.
None.
And you're just like, my biggest problem, I think, with realtors is when they come in and I've just showed them 2 or 3 houses and the family goes, I love this house. And the realtor goes, hold on, we got 5 or 6 more houses to see today. Why?
Yeah.
And you can't ask that question at that point in time, and you never see them again.
Wow.
Once they leave, it's over.
Yeah.
Unless you're on the last of the chain, or they found something before they got to you that they really.
If they had 5 houses to show, I'd probably still go show them the houses. I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, usually, if I'm going to see some existing homes, I'm going to take them to see them. It's a big decision that they're making, but usually I've already done that and ran their route. But I'm like, hey, I'm going to add this new construction community that I think you need to see at the end of it. And when they see the brand new house compared to what's out there, usually these are people that are going to be looking at subdivisions. I'm not talking about my clients that are looking for 2 acres and or 1.5 acres and spending $700,000, but you're people that are looking to live in a community. We're looking. They're shopping on Zillow first. Let's just say it. That's what the majority of Americans. That's usually on that website or Realtor.com or something. They're like, schedule a tour. Boop. They have not done a pre-approval. They hadn't done anything. They get a random real estate agent. They don't know who they're getting just to go show them a house. And I'm like, that's not the process. Your process, if you're buying a house, should be calling me first and then getting pre-approved. That's pre-approved for a regular house. If you need to get pre-approved through DHI or through any of these new construction, we do that second. But we need to know what you can buy, what your buying power
What you
is,
can look at.
what you can look at, so we're not
And when
wasting gas and time. Gas is expensive. Everything's expensive. My tires are expensive. My time's expensive. I got plenty of things to do. I don't want to just be looking at houses. I look at houses all day, every day. I don't need to go just show houses for no reason. You need a good real estate agent. I recommend going to Trek, looking at the education that they have. Go look at mine. I take a lot. I did see the last 2 days in a row. And that's to make my clients better, make me be a better service to my clients. That I do know about new construction. I do know about land. I do know about fence laws. I do know about a lot. And if I don't know, I know how to find the answer. So a real estate agent is your number one thing to make sure you have somebody seasoned, that's been through it, that's educated, because you're making a big purchase, $300,000 to millions of dollars, whatever kind of buyer you are. But if it's $300,000, that's a lot of money to me.
It's a lot of money to anybody.
Yeah. So if you're doing that, make sure you have good representation, and then let's go look. And then I'm gonna fill you out while we're looking at houses, and then I'm gonna know. I want to be their best friend, and find out what they like. And sometimes that takes a little bit for me to fill it out and then find out, because I'm out every day. I'm not an agent that sits at home because I don't have showings or something. I'm taking classes, networking.
You're busy.
I stop and talk to you. I'm like, I want to be in the know of my hood.
So who are your favorite builders out there?
There's levels of that. I tell people, with D.R. Horton specifically, I'll start with them. I've sold a lot of them, and it's affordability. And a lot of people think that just means that they're cheap sometimes. I'm like, no.
They're built as nice as any home.
They're the biggest builder in the country, and they buy a larger amount of land. Your lot price is
We buy
half.
lumber in bulk. We buy brick in bulk. We buy
Everything's bought in bulk, which makes their homes more affordable. Just do the steps, do the process.
That 90% of the realtors that come through have not even started pre-qual.
Oh yeah.
And it's just another. I'm fine with it because I'd much rather them go through ours. But
if it's the first day I showed them, I may not. But.
If I already have that in my hand, I know we're writing it, and I know I'm getting ready to give you a better deal because I got 3.99 and you're sitting at a 6.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, well, I can save you $750 today.
Well, back to that interest rate thing, and we'll get back to the builder thing, but. Sometimes I get them pre-approved, or I show them a few houses. I tell them pre-approval is important because we got to find out what payments are going to typically look like at this price. So say they're at $250 at 6%. That's when I know in my head, well, let's go look at one of these D.R. Hortons that may be $289 or even $300 at 3.99. And it's just a big step up every buyer.
It's another 10 grand, maybe 20 grand more that they can afford now. They might be able to get more house.
Yeah.
You sell many without muds or PIDs like Madera?
No, there's a lot of mud and PIDs out there, and I'm actually about to be taking a class on another CE class in just 3 weeks on mud and PIDs. I like to be educated on those and know a lot about them. Like, ask your realtor if they even can define that and watch them stutter. But it's just an extra tax. And so you got to be careful. Have another realtor that knows, hey, what's your tax rate? Is that tax rate with your mud or PID? Because, a lot of people will spit it out and like, oh, no, the mud or PID's, $1,200 a year. or something like that, like, so you have a 2.4% tax rate and a mutter pit. So none here, and you said the tax rate's like 2%, basically.
2.06.
2.06% here, no mutter pit. That's why my family's in here, and the Garretts.
They still got that Estes down there waiting on you.
Yeah.
The one you looked at
and
last
I looked at one last night. I'm not moving here, yeah. Because it's just the payment's too good to pass up here for a brick home with a warranty that you have. You don't buy a used home you don't get those little warranties you can get on your house. Ain't done nothing. But to have a foundation warranty, to have all those things, that's great.
Do you feel like it's easier to sell a new home than a used one?
The models are amazing, the staged ones. But yes, it's new car smell. That is, unless you're listing with me and I have your house staged and smelling good.
You already got it
cleaned up. But that my stager is amazing. It makes it look like a model home, so that makes a huge difference. And I started using a stager this year. You always grow. If you're not growing in your business and just trying new things, then I don't know what you're doing. But I just started. I found God gave me Alexis, my stager, and I started using her this year. It's an expense, and I'm a little tight sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know.
Every expense like that at the end of the year is a write-off of your taxes.
Yeah, I know.
Especially if you run them through
I still like my
LLC.
money, and it's hard to give away, but it's worth it. It's worth every penny. So my listings that are staged and she makes it look as amazing as y'all's model home. She's amazing. Those
the
houses
biggest thing is what, decluttering them?
Oh man, no. There's a lot
them?
more than that. There's cleaning and decluttering is just the base. I mean, your pictures you have on the wall. I can't explain it.
Most family pictures are coming off.
I can't explain it. When you walk into a house that she staged, it's like, wow. I don't have art like this on the walls. Nobody has this stuff. The people that stage y'all's house have this stuff. So when people see a model home, they're like, I could live here.
Most of my homes have been furnished from these model homes through the last 20 years. All my kids' houses have furniture out of these houses through the years.
Yeah.
When they put them up for sale, we bought it. I just missed out on it, so I'm still mad about it. They changed all our appliances out from Whirlpool to Electrolux this week.
Yeah.
And they gave that stuff away, like refrigerator, $150, washer, dryer, $180 for the pair. I was just like,
you need to let me know when these sales go.
Well, buddy, I put my name on a list, and somebody else got invited to come to the show, and somewhere I missed the.
Well, maybe they needed it worse than you did.
I looked at it that way. I go, yeah, we make more money than those guys do, so they do deserve it.
Yeah.
And these builders work their butts off doing these houses. I mean, they're running 20 to 50 houses at a time, and it's a gig. It's a hard gig. And you're here at 6, and you're leaving out by 5 and 6, and it never stops.
Yeah. You want to go back to other builders?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really a short list because I mostly stay in Rockwall and
Greenville.
And Rockwall to Sulphur Springs. That's stripped down 30. But as far as most new construction, it's Rockwall and Roy City. I'd say has the most new construction of my areas. I try to stay out of Collin County, like 380, Princeton, and all that stuff. I'm close enough to do it, but it's so
oversaturated.
Yeah, it's not my favorite place. So again, I've been here since '81. If you want to know about Rockwall, Hunt, Collin County, Kaufman County, Hopkins County, all of those counties, that's my life. Been living and breathing that for a really long time. But I'd say most of my new construction is going to be in Roy City, Rockwall, Fate. Yeah, those are the big
Greenville?
three.
Is Greenville getting a bunch of new construction now?
There are a lot of small time builders in the downtown area. I have a builder that works with me, but it's just slower in Greenville. The further, I mean, it's hard to get people to cross that bridge to come to Rockwall. It's even harder to get them to come another 10, 15 minutes. This construction is really hurting us right now.
But what's going to happen when that construction and that highway off of 30 opens?
Oh man, that's gonna be a blessing.
Katie, bar the doors,
Yeah.
because they're going to be loading this area
I can smell it.
up.
No, that'll be
I'm
fun.
with you. I sit out there and listen to those cars go by. Before long, you won't even hear them because they'll be going by so fast when it goes to
Yeah.
3 and 4 lanes.
It doesn't matter the time when I leave my men's group on Thursday. I'm stuck in traffic at 9:30 at night. You know, sometimes.
I already had a wreck on that damn highway in my new truck. Got rear-ended.
Yeah.
I was so mad. Ended up being a 6-car pileup. Just me and the two on ours, and then there were 4 more hit each other behind him.
Yeah.
But it cost me $22,000. Bent my frame, and
Oh.
it's the frames are universal now, so they're replaceable. So you can take parts out now and put a new piece in. They're not like they were when we grew up.
I bet it's real cheap.
22,000. And the only thing really happened when they hit my draw tie hitch, it shoved that frame up into the cab, and it bent the fender a little bit, and it creased one of the wheel wells. And that, it was all in the frame. They'd take it all apart. They'd take the whole back end off of it and pull all that bottom loose. I was
Just give me a new truck, man. Y'all have this one. But back to other builders. I mean, I feel like there's steps. There's price points that you get into more of the luxury. I love David Weekley. When I first started real estate and was struggling my first 2 years, I went through the interview process with David Weekley, so I know a lot about them. I went to their corporate office and had 2 interviews, and then interviewed in a neighborhood because I was going to drop out of real estate, but still love that market, and I love new homes, and I love construction, and so
I tried your side
yeah,
for many years. I just never liked it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
And I do.
And I love this side. I'm like you. I love construction. I love not having to go and buy my leads from somewhere and people.
You got a pond to fish in, man.
I have a big pond because I have 100,000 realtors in Texas.
No.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming that. I don't know if that's a real number.
But you have a schedule.
Can you look and see how many realtors we have here in Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have a schedule, which is not too bad. I mean, my days off are Thursday, Friday, so that's not
bad.
horrible. I don't have kids at home or football games or cheerleading or none of that stuff anymore. So what else am I doing on the weekend? Go out and drink and party every weekend? I don't want to be that person. So that's kind of...
We're past that, man.
It kind of puts a grip around you because you're not going to want to stay out late on Friday nights if you're having to go to work on
What's
Saturday.
staying out late to you? That's past 9 o'clock.
9
now.
o'clock for me. I can promise you that. I don't know what happened last night.
In the Texas Association of Realtors, it's 150,000 plus members.
Holy cow! I figured after COVID we'd lose half of them.
Probably have.
They were starving. You think they were?
You know a fun fact? Like the success rate of a real estate agent? You can Google this. I tell people, ask what the success rate of a real estate agent is.
Less than 2 homes a year?
No. The success rate of like lasting in the business.
Oh, they don't.
So
2 years?
Well, yeah, we have to do a big renewal at 2 years. It says, I think, when you Google it, it'll say like how many last to 4 years or something. It's basically 1 out of 10. There's only a 10% success rate of agents that make it past. I think it says past 4 years.
87% of agents quit within their first 5 years.
It says within its first 5 years. 87%. So that means
they quit 2 years before that.
1.3 out of 10 make it past 5 years. I've made it past that.
But man, you're killing it.
This is my 9th year.
You're killing it, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm blessed.
Your world seems you're always busy. I mean, you always have people.
We got a choice of what to do.
You're doing a great job. I mean,
I appreciate it.
Just getting to know you since we met out here in Madera. It's I enjoy just picking up the phone and calling you because I know you and I are gonna have some kind of conversation and
And I'm going to
see
answer
what's
the
going
phone.
on. And you always answer your phone.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
So,
If I, especially if I know the number, I got you saved, and I do have you saved, so I will answer the phone. But I answer the phone even to these spammers half the time. I answer the phone. I hate agents that don't answer the phone. I'm like, does this person want to sell their house? And granted, I know we get busy, and if I am busy, I'll text you and say, hey, I'll call you right back. I'm in a meeting
Yeah,
or I'm in a class or something like
you're
that.
punctual, that's for sure.
But I don't know what any agents are. Even when you have 10 listings going on, you're never too busy for classes and learning. I guess I could be out there making TikTok reels. I don't do a whole lot of that yet. This is the biggest thing I've ever done.
Well, and me too.
Yeah.
You know, you're our 12th episode? Is that right?
Something like that.
You're our 12th episode. So we try to do one or two of these a week. And sometimes we're doing our community people, and sometimes we're doing realtors. Other than that, that's all I want to focus on. Because realtors have usually big followings. And if we all work together, we possibly could grow to a huge number where everybody's seeing everything we do. Every time you got a listing, you can hit that list. And we want a group of realtors that come up here and film with him and do some business there. Yeah. But we cut your reels, we do your podcast. My guys put it on all your stuff if you want them to.
Yeah.
But
we're going to talk about that because I enjoy stuff like this. Just take time just talking about everything. Community.
This is what this is about.
Speaking of, the Soul Man's thing on Monday, whichever ones you want to do, those two, they're business leader groups, they're networking groups. Anybody watching this, I mean, if you're Christian, you follow Jesus, and you want to hear testimony, and you want a fellowship, and you want to meet other Christian business people to do business with and do life with, find one of those, find me. But that's what it's testimony. So all you're going to do is come in at 11:30, get your food order, and we're punctual because everybody's working. So 12 to 1, we start. We'll have a leader of the group read over a couple verses, do something really quick, take about 10 minutes, probably pray, whatever. We get the ball rolling. The big part is a testimony. Somebody that you don't know is going to get up and give their testimony of what God's done in their life, and it's just fun to hear people's story.
Pastor Scott at that men's group, he led it, and he always started off. He went around the room with everybody. Hey, take a couple minutes, tell us how your week was, tell us what went on in your week, and it opened up some crazy stories.
Yep.
Every week, news stories. You look at some of these guys like, how are you doing that?
It may unlock something in somebody else that somebody needs to talk about.
That's what he said. I go, you do that in all of the years? He said, yeah. He says it opens up to see how everybody's hurting.
Yeah.
Everybody has problems.
Yeah.
And he goes, and it's not a monthly problem. It's an everyday problem, every week problem. There's stuff that people don't have anyone to visit with, don't have to talk about, and now they're with a group of men they can trust. They know it'll never leave that room, and you're building a relationship the old school way, talking out.
God doesn't use perfect people; He uses broken people. All of His disciples were broken people, and anyways, you got to be bold and broken. One of the first books I read when I started following God again in 2019. But, when you're broken and you have been through something and you have testimony, you're able to stand in the gap as somebody that is broken and that's looking for God. And that's where I come and stand in the middle, or another Christian or somebody. You're wanting to stand in that gap and show them, reach your hand out and offer them the other side that you've been through it. So
it's amazing to meet and get to know you, because I figured you just played golf and drank beer all the time. I didn't realize.
No more beer.
Well,
today.
right now.
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
I been on a new mission in my life, and for the last 17 months. So I've been pretty great. It's definitely rewired me, but I do love golf. I'm not good at it, but I love it.
What kind of score are you rolling with?
Best score I've ever shot was like an 84, I think.
I might be able to come play with you. I'm gonna be about 20 points higher, but I could at least come.
No. On my normal days, I'm like a 94. That would probably be safe to say. But
Probably about 100.
yeah.
But I just bought a new set of clubs and haven't played since high school.
Here's the thing. Everybody that doesn't know that you're playing golf, new clubs don't improve your score. Go get you a new driver. You're going to hit it so far, and you're still going to suck.
This? When you're 6'5", new clubs don't work for Wes. I have to have them made for me.
Yeah.
And
you got to get fitted. Everybody should be fitted. I've never done that.
I mean, with these mitts on, I can't even hold a small grip. Mm-hmm. So I got like huge jumbo grips just so I
did that
hold
this year.
To it.
Yeah.
And honestly, my fingers don't feel like they're getting ready to break off by the time I get done from the twisting with the club's grip. Yeah. But
it's an expensive game.
It is, yeah. $8 a ball for Titleist Pro V1s. Yeah, it's a killer of a game.
When that goes in the water, you're like, yeah, that was $8. Just it's different, but
I played with the boys. They're the one. My youngest, I put a TV up at his house, and when I say it's TV, it's an outdoor TV. It's 10 foot by 9 foot.
What?
I swear to you. So it's right over his pool.
One TV.
One TV.
Not a projection.
I'll send you pictures of it.
Okay.
I will tell you, since he was this high, he said he's gonna have the biggest TV in his yard. And then when he got to the point, he built that new house, built a new pool behind it, and he calls me like it's a couple of weeks before Christmas. He goes, "Dad, I need your help." I go, "What you got, man?" Him and I have never been he's a very active person, okay? And I'm pretty hard on people, especially the boys as they were growing up. I wasn't there to be their friend. I was there to be their dad. And I was pretty hard on them, but they're successful what they're doing. But when I finished that, putting that thing up, and it was a job. I hadn't built anything like that ever.
I never will.
Okay. But it's like the next week he calls me and says, "Hey, when do you start playing some golf together?" And then all of a sudden he started inviting us to every party he had.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we're at all of their friends' events and always invited. And then most of their friends call us mom, dad. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they love us being there, and they love coming to our house. And we kind of have an open door policy. So if there's a room there, find a bed, not find a couch. Not there's blankets in there for the floor.
Yeah. When does the time change coming up?
We are.
It's in March.
It's
look that up. That'll
be
the
last week of March.
I don't know, but
not soon enough.
When that happens, we'll get our daylight back, and we can
go hit 9 holes somewhere.
Man, I used to get 18 in on March 8th.
Oh wow,
that's
we are like
a month
right around the corner. Thank God.
March 8th.
We're already getting it. We're already at 6:30 before it's dark now.
Yeah, so we'll have till like when that time change first happens, it like doesn't get dark till 8 o'clock. So it's
That's true.
Yeah. As long as you can start playing by like 4:30 or so, you get 18 in.
Thursdays and Fridays I'm open. Rest time I'm here till 7. That's the bad part about the change is we go to 7 o'clock. We're at 6 now.
Oh, okay. Have you played Sulphur Springs before?
No, but I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. A friend of mine just moved up there, and
Is he a member?
Hmm?
You got to be a member to get in there now.
Oh, he's a member.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's hit it up and let's go.
I think he is either principal of the high school up there. He was principal of South Lake,
Okay.
so he retired, and then they bought him back to come up here. So he sold his house on Eagle Mountain Lake and moved up here.
Yeah. Well,
But
let's play some time up there.
we'll
I've
see.
never played it, and I want to. Like you, I've heard all the stuff about it. I'm like, eh. But they went to fully private this year, and so we got to have a member to get in there. But I'm looking forward to go playing that, man.
Well, I bet I can call Duhan and get in there anytime we want to. He has lots of connections.
Let's go.
Last thing I wanted to ask you was
Not other builders. We skipped that. How about this? You got to call me to figure that out.
You know about our promo this week.
What's the
And
promo?
through Pick 3,
The pick 3. That was like a sweetheart thing.
Sweetheart, for the Valentine's Day deal we have going. We've got a 2-1 buy
I think we
down.
nailed that down to garage floor, what we would pick,
Yeah, we were
Blinds.
garage floor, blinds, and refrigerator.
and refrigerator.
Most people are going to pick refrigerator, washer, dryer, and blinds.
Yes.
But if you're an outside person, you pick.
So washer dryer is an option there, but a lot of people already have that.
Hey, we got that 3.99 interest rate out there. We always have specials. We're paying you guys 4% this for the next couple of weeks, and then of course there'll be new promos and stuff going also.
Always something going on.
You know Horton, they always have something going on for you guys.
Something. But buyers don't sit on the fence. Anybody watching us that's thinking about buying, you should call me. So get the process started. If you don't do anything, don't. But I promise you, if you wait now and then you wait a year from now, you'll be like, man, we should have bought. It's always, whenever you buy a house, it's always, I wish I'd have bought that last year.